Okay, it's a 1973 Ford Bronco. You can see I don't have the front turn signals in the grill yet. I'll probably put those in this weekend. I converted those to LED and I haven't got them finished putting together yet. Those are LED headlights from John Heinz. I got those a couple years ago from him. It has brand spanking new 33 12 50 15 Pro Cromp MTs on it. It's got a 3.5 progressive coils. I don't know what brand they are. I've taken the front end completely apart, new axle, drive shaft, new axle, what am I trying to say here? U-joints, new ball joints, new bushings. Just put a brand new track bar in, new track bar bushings, heavy duty tie rod, brand new tie rod ends, new calipers, new pads on the front disc brakes, new bearings, new wheel seals. It's got mile marker hubs on it. I don't have any windshield wipers on it, but it will be by the end of the weekend. I've got them. I'm putting the Jeep modification style wipers on there so they're more modern, easier to get blades for. It's got a K-line fast track soft top. It does not have removable windows. You just unsnap it and you roll them up, and it's got little straps that go around it. I've rhino lined the whole interior. This is kind of give you an idea of what the interior looks like from back here. So here's what it looks like with the tailgate up. I painted all the bezels black because I thought it looked a lot better that way. Match the flares. It's got a aftermarket, I don't know if you can see it or not, 23, I think it's a 23 gallon aftermarket steel tank in here. Has a saddle tank that I haven't got installed yet. You can see that I don't have the door panels painted up and installed yet. I don't have the windows in or the wing windows in because I was going to at some point purchase all the anti-rattle rails and whatnot, new felts, and put them all back in. Didn't do that yet. I've replaced the floors. They're thicker than stock. I treated all the rust and seam sealed it. Let's see, these seats are leather with whatever material this is, I couldn't tell you. The front seats are a smooth leather, the back is a suede leather. The silver material is basically the same. You can see it's got a family roll cage in it. I think it's either a Tom's or a Bob's Bronco parts. I don't know which for sure. I just installed a brand new wiper motor up there. It had a stereo there. I don't really care for stereos in rigs like this anyway, so I put a voltage meter and a 12 volt outlet, and it's got a double USB outlet, and it glows red when you turn the key on. Let's see, I put racing style seat belts in. I find those are a lot easier to manage for different size people. It doesn't have any mirrors on it right now, so somebody'd have to round up a set of mirrors. Those are brand spanking new door handles. Just put those on. Got them all adjusted. They work great. Brand new windshield seal. Okay, bear with me for a minute here and I'll get this hood opened up and propped up against the windshield frame. Okay, so this is the engine. It's not built up badass, but it does run good. It's got a Edelbrock I think it's a 650 CFM. It's got a 1,000 cold crank amp battery, a 4-core aluminum radiator. It's got long tube headers. I'm not a long tube header type of guy. I would rather have shorties. I've got a set of shorties that I would throw in with this because I believe that it'd make it a lot easier to run the exhaust. And then if you know Broncos, they have hood clearance issues, and so I took a intake horn off of a Jeep, and I made an adapter type of thing to put that type of air filter on. And it's got power disc brakes, Ford power disc brakes. That's the power steering reservoir back there. It has power steering. I totally dismantled that power steering box, cleaned it, put all new seals in it, put a kit in it. It's got a Explorer 5-liter engine, so you got the Explorer serpentine front dress, which is about, I think, 2 3/4 inches shorter than factory. Gives you a lot more room up front. I removed the driver's side vent because all they do is catch pine needles and cause problems. It's got Tom's Bronco parts, brand new Tom's Bronco parts, fender flares on it. So like I said, if you read the description, I've gone through, replaced every seal, I've rebuilt the transmission. The only thing I haven't done is rebuild the engine, but I did rebuild the heads, all new valve job and seals on that. I don't know what else I could show you on this. It's looking down at no major body damage. I'm not that happy with my own body work. I'm not that great of a body and fender guy. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it. Right here, when I was tacking the roll bar together, it fell out and bumped into the side. So I put a scratch there. Right in here and here, there's a couple of runs in the paint. And boy, you can't even really see them, but you can feel them. There's a couple of runs in the paint down here. It's you can see some sanding swirl where I didn't use fine enough sandpaper before I painted it. Like I said, I'm not a body and fender and paint guy, so did the best I could. I did put good primer down and and painted it. These bumpers are from K-Bar-S. It's an old Bronco supply company that's no longer in business. I got those in trade and put those on there. I thought they dressed it up pretty nice. I have brand new door seals to put in there. I just have not installed those yet. I was waiting to figure out where I was going to go with this paint job, if I was going to try to redo it or keep it. And that's probably the conclusion of the good. And the wiring is in good shape. I haven't seen any issues in the wiring at all. For a rig this old, that's kind of uncommon because people hack the crap out of them. But anyway, there's the good. Now we will go with what I think is the deficiencies of this Bronco. For one thing, there is no shifter indicator. There's supposed to be a clear piece that goes there and a real red indicator there. Don't have any of that stuff, so it's not there. That's something that somebody would have to purchase and replace. Like I said, the door panels aren't installed, the guts aren't in the doors. I do have the windows and I do have the wing windows, but somebody would have to get that stuff. I've told you about the runs that are in the paint. Like I said, it's a 25 footer. You get back about I'm about 15 feet away right now, and it looks pretty darn good. It's when you get up close that you can see things. I painted it probably a year ago, so you can see a couple chips in the paint from working on it, getting in and out and scraping the roll bar across things. You can see here on the hood where a tool got underneath the hood and it tweaked it. When I opened it, it scratched against the windshield frame. I've since fixed the hood, but not the paint. If you can look and see in through here, there's a dip in this bubble. And this bubble serves no function other than aesthetics. It's a James Duff bubble. It was straight when I put it on. First time the sun came out, it sunk in the middle. Doesn't have the wiper washer jets. I don't even have the wiper washer jets to put in there. And I don't have a reservoir under the hood for it. Let's see. On the top, it's got a crack here. It's about, I'm gonna call that 3 inches, and a little 1 incher, and about a 2 incher. That was from the guy who had the top, didn't store it properly. So when it got unrolled, it cracked. And let's see, when I put the roll bar together, I didn't have the doors on it, and I left it a hair wide, so the door jambs actually touch the roll bar on both sides. A person could probably cut this weld out, move it back over. If I don't sell this thing right away, that's what I'm going to do. And then and then take a come along and suck it back together, and that would fix that. But if a person's going to run it with door inserts and soft doors, it would make no difference. Let's see, what other deficients? There's no antenna because there's no stereo. Geez, I don't know what else to tell you. If you've driven many Broncos, this has got the dreaded J-shift transfer case. They shift like crap. You gotta fart around with them. Whenever you put it in four-wheel drive, it goes in pretty easy, but taking it back out, you gotta go from neutral to reverse while you're messing with the shifter to get it to go into back into two-wheel drive again. That's typical of that J-shift transfer case. So no way around it other than to put a T-style in, which I don't have one, or I would have put one in. That's a brand new boot on the shifter. Just put it on. Let's see. Like I said, I've taken a lot of time to try to clean things on this. I even took the spring packs on the back apart and cleaned each spring individually and painted them, waited for them to dry, and stuck them back together just so they didn't rust in the middle. Let's see. I can't think of anything else to tell you. We'll go back here and you can get a grand view of it. There it is in all its glory. My opinion is, if somebody does a little more work on it, you'll increase the value by $5,000 to $7,000 by just throwing $1,500 at it. So, which is what I will probably end up doing if it doesn't sell soon. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Well, it just occurred to me that you'd probably like to hear it run. So, give it a whirl here. I don't know, videos never make anything sound like they do in real life, but it'll let you see that it's not rattling, it's not smoking. Look back here. The exhaust, like I mentioned before, it needs to be redone. It needs some shorty headers put in, and I would say just a whole new exhaust system put in. Right now it's just terminated right in front of the rear axle, shooting down at the ground. So anyway, that's another expense you might want to look at before you consider this thing.